Boys and girls, it's me again, and it's lunchtime. I was watching a video, and then the girls started crying, so I had to leave. Mm. I'm having the hardest time, boys and girls, because I'm a water baby. Mm. I don't know why I cry so much. When people be telling their stories, it's like I am sitting in their bones, like I'm feeling it. You know what I'm saying? But because I took a bite out of my pizza, I'm gonna say something that I had no intentions on saying. If you go to Lidl or Aldi, they have that humongous pizza. I buy those pizzas and I cut them in pieces and I put them in Ziploc bags, and that's how I enjoy my pizza. I just put some garlic on it and a little salt. These pizzas are so much better than DiGiorno's and those type of pizzas and those little 2.99 pizzas. So much better. But I think I only have one slice left, so your girl has to get to the store. Huh? Mm, mm. But mm, I was watching a video, had no intention of watching the video, and this woman's video popped up. So of course I let it play. That's the kindness of having YouTube when you let other people's video play. And then she was saying that she's not getting any sales, and no matter what she do, the orders are not coming in. She has a daughter, she can't feed her daughter, she's behind on her bills, and then she just broke down and she just kept saying how tired she was. Y'all already know, we understand what tired is, do we not? So I had to back away. Yes, the video is running. Absolutely. She's going to eat, baby, because I'm letting the video run. But for me, while I'm in here dealing with whatever I'm dealing with, I need to walk away from the video because I would have broken down, and I don't need to be breaking down when I'm, you know, lifted right now. I I want to say one thing. I was in here. Uh, I took a break from reading in the frugal group and stuff like that, and I said to myself, I didn't go outside. I went outside. I didn't go to a store. I didn't buy anything this whole week, last week, a couple of days, whatever the case may be. So I said, let me go in my pocket and see, what I saved, basically. And I did. And then I put my little $6 aside for gas, because that's what I put in my gas. My gas tank, my gas is half a tank. I could put 10, but sometimes you got to break yourself off. So I broke $6 apart, and then I put a little bit in my little whatever. That's nobody's business. I keep telling y'all ladies about some stuff. But then I was in my room doing my Facebook Live, and I realized I started talking, and I ended up looking down and seeing some greeting cards or whatever, and I saw one that I absolutely love, and I don't want to throw it in garbage. So my giveaway for this video is a greeting card. Now, this is a birthday card, and I would prefer it to go to a younger female. So if you want to partake in this giveaway for a birthday card for a young female that like flowers, like blue, like green, I would not mind sending you this card. I'm going to tell you that the card has something in it. No signature, no nothing. You get to write in your card, do whatever you want to have in your card. But I would like to bestow the kindness of doing a freebie for a birthday for a younger female. I'm not saying like 2 or 3, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There is no age limit. This card has no age limit. Uh, Absolutely. But you may have a neighbor, you may have a friend, you may have a daughter, a niece, an aunt, whoever. You don't have a gift, whatever the case may be. I would like to bestow the kindness of passing on this greeting card in a freebie. The only thing you have to say is birthday card. That's it. And I'm not going to pick your name out of a basket. I'm going to pick the first person who says birthday. Beverly, you cannot say birthday. I'm going to tell you that now. You cannot say birthday. Absolutely. Beverly, you cannot be in this giveaway because you already know you're the first person who watched my video. So if I'm going to send you a birthday card, I'm going to send it to you for no reason at all. So Beverly, do not say birthday. We have to play fair now, okay? This goes to someone else who may see the video. So, and I was doing my Facebook Live this morning, and then I put up a link to my Broke But Fed book. But I kid you not, I'm sitting here, and it's not even 12 o'clock, boys and girls. I'm sitting here. I did most of everything I have to do. You will see another video. My dinner. I figured out what I want to have for dinner. Not because I know what I want for dinner, but what I feel like having in my mouth for dinner. So I'm going to try something new. So my meat is defrosting, and I was sitting here saying to myself, I have a purpose for today. I just don't know what it is. So I'm in here, and I'm praying and talking to. So I'm in here just, praying and, talking to God and, stuff like that. And I'm like, and then I said, wow, I did my video this morning and that was the purpose. But then I said, I'm supposed to do my Facebook Live. Now, there was a time I was extremely nervous on Facebook Live. I couldn't do the first Facebook Live without stuttering and all the other stuff. Now, there was one thing I had to touch base on with Facebook Live because I do notice that from the time that I had my stroke that I can feel the difference in my mouth when I'm talking. So I'm always pausing. I'm always, there's issues I have with my mouth. So because a lot of people on Facebook Live know me personally, school, whatever the case may be, I had to touch base on that because I know somebody, especially Linda Cicado, will say, what's wrong with her mouth? So what I'm saying. So because I noticed it, I had to address it in my video. So, but I noticed that I am no longer filled with anxiety doing Facebook Live. When I see somebody chiming in and commenting and it pops on the screen, I get excited because sometimes I forget that it's not YouTube, which is not live. And it doesn't make me feel like I used to be. So, So I realized that now I have to do more Facebook Lives. But when I did my Facebook Live, I put my link to one of my books in the title. And then when I went back to watch my video, I saw the link to my title. I saw my link at the top of my video. Boom! That was my purpose. Share my Broke But Fed cookbook. So I plan on, oh my goodness, boys and girls. Give me a minute. Lord have mercy. And no, I'm not trying to be fresh. I gotta stretch for a minute. Lord have mercy. Y'all don't understand what it is sometimes. I need to stretch. That's why I'm thankful that I get to walk. So I know what I have to do. I have to do more Facebook Lives. And that's what I'm going to do. I happen to love today, boys and girls, I'm loving my shirt. I'm loving my shirt. So I did that. Now, what I am going to say that I have to say, I got a phone call this morning after I did my first video that if you have not seen yet. And my friend said, I'm going to say something. I don't know if I'm wrong. And I apologize, whatever. So I'm like, okay, no apology needed. Just a truthful and honest. That's it. He said, you weren't angry yesterday when you did your video. I said, no, because I'm not angry. He said, you actually love him. I said, I do. I'm always going to love him. He said, you actually was kind of nice in that video. You could have really went in. You saved him. I said, I know. I said, I know. But he said, I'm sorry that you had to do that, but I know you had to because of you being a Libra. You just couldn't have. I said, mm-mm, I couldn't have. I had to. Boom. So I was thankful, but I had started crying. I had to say, I had to ask him to stop. It is amazing when someone can see you and see you the way you want to be seen. I'm thankful. And I know with my YouTube channel, you see me. That is one of the blessings that I have. You actually see me. And before I got rid of my other channel, I promise you, I believe I got rid of 2 YouTube channels. Before I got rid of my other 2 channels, when I was really struggling, I'm talking, I was all out unwell. It was all over the screen. And it was nothing I could do about it. I had no self control. I had nothing. I was straight up on a downward spiral, boys and girls. But it is a blessing, especially noticing that some of you have come with me from that channel to this channel to see my growth. That is it. And I've always mentioned quite a few times, my nose is itching. I've mentioned quite a few times, I'm thankful that you accept me for who I am. I'm not perfect. I am who I am, and I'm brutally honest at times. I wish I wasn't, but I'm brutally honest at times because, speaking of brutally honest, I was in a group a little while ago, and a woman said, in an IBS group, irritable bowel syndrome. And she said, does anybody smell foul? And stuff like that. And this person said, no. And I'm like, yes, you do smell foul. And if you know yourself, you know yourself. And I said, unfortunately, a lot of people can't smell themselves. That's why they pass by air. Doesn't smell good. I said, but, and then the woman had asked, what do you do to help yourself? And I said, change a few times a day and make sure you bathing down there with some baking soda. There is no way you can tell me that with IBS you don't take notice that there's an old L. No, you are straight up lying. So, and I said to her, I said, thank God that you can smell yourself, because trust me, if you can't, other people can. And if you have IBS, baby, and you can't smell yourself, don't be going sitting in nobody's house on their furniture. Not mine, because I am going to be the one person to let you know about yourself. And you're not coming back up in here. You're not welcome. Why? You don't even have to worry about if you come to the door, if I'm going to let you in. If I let you in, you standing right there. But I am thankful for so many reasons. But I sat down here and I looked into my stats. I said, you know what? I'm just going to start sharing my books, and do those type of things. Today I wanted to design some tote bags, but a part of me just felt like, I don't care. And then a little wave of, I just don't give a fuck, came over me. I just don't care. And I said, nah, I can't rock with that. I can't have that spirit running around in here. So I said, we're gonna nip that in the bud. So when it made me something to eat, got me some coffee, and thank God for those pills that I put on here a couple days ago. I'm trying to see if I have one in here because I purchased 2 bottles, but I'm looking for the other bottle because before this bottle runs out, I need the other bottle. But the other bottle's on my kitchen counter. The other one should be somewhere in here. But let me tell y'all something. I really and truly have to get to the point where I just put my herbals somewhere, because I had somebody in my bathroom one time. Now my pills, my herbals are in the bathroom, and say that this is the part of the shelf that faces you. Instead of the name facing the person, whoever's in the bathroom, all of them are facing the back, and it's at the top shelf. So now that's for me to know, look and know I have supply left, and get myself accountable. But then someone said to me, can I have one of those pills up there? How do you know what pills those are up there? I was just looking at I said, I can't give you those pills because I gave out enough already. You know, and I left it at that. But you failed the test because you was reading my shit. What if that was HIV medicine? You know what I'm saying? Stop minding people's business just because it's there. It's not for you to read. You know what I'm saying? But I actually, this month, because someone was going through crisis, gave a bottle of herbals. And then she ended up in hospital, but she never took the herbals. And they gave her a prescription, and she preferred to take the prescription because whatever insurance, whatever. I said, girl, I'm coming for my bottle. Just, I need the whole bottle. No tipping, no open, no taking nothing. I want the whole bottle. I said, okay, Shane. That's right. Best believe. But I'm not going to I have to not give away my herbals anymore because when I was really down and out, I didn't have any way to get any. Matter of fact, Tina sent me some and I'm always dropping this freaking bucket. And I forgot to take my sea moss this morning. And now I'm looking for the other bottle. And I'm like, where could it be? Because I don't really I only had one person here. It better be right here, my damn. It better be, because y'all know, ain't nobody in here to be taking my pills. So I forgot to take my sea moss. So I'm going to just make sure I take my herbals. But boys and girls, I mentioned earlier in my video how hard it is for people with this no span. Now, I know that it's hard for a lot of people, but there's gonna be a lot of people put on the street. Businesses are gonna close, everything, because this no spend cannot fund our environments, our communities. It can't do any of that. So today I was on a computer and someone chimed in for an item that I have. I said yes, the item is available, marketplace. So because I have an excess amount of cards and I have some bracelets and all other stuff, I'm going to put together that order with earrings, bracelet, and a greeting card. All three have my marketing on it. So hopefully, they will at least get to see, that someone is in the town doing what. I'm not saying that they're going to buy from me. People are doing a no buys right now. But it is so hard, being even myself, knowing that I'm not getting any orders. I'm not getting. It is hard. I went through that already, but I went through a massive stage because first of all, I have nothing that belongs to me. Not even my social security check belongs to me. You understand what I'm saying? I worked and all that other stuff, but you know what I'm saying. If anything happened, I can't secure myself. My security is like boom on the ground. So I don't care what happens. I'm gonna keep trying and keep trying and keep trying to make my own way in life. I have to, but I said to the woman before I left, I said, whatever you do, just keep recording. That's it. And I mean it. Because you may not have a breakthrough today. You may not have a breakthrough in 2025. But who says you're not going to have a breakthrough in 2026? And I kid you not, boys and girls, I know I'm going to make it some kind of way. But see, I also know from experience and from being poor. And when I say poor, I'm talking having absolutely nothing for like ever. That you cannot put all your eggs in one basket. So I'm doing my videos, I'm doing my Facebook Live because I may have to monetize Facebook Live. So I'm doing Facebook Live. I'm waiting for something. It's a certain day in 2026 I'm waiting for to decide what I'm going to do because I have to stop getting afraid of getting to the point where I have an excess amount of money and I don't know what to do with it. That is one of my fears, boys and girls, because I'm a giver, and I feel like somebody's gonna come to me and be like, but I'm not worried about that. I'm always gonna give, but I'm gonna give to those who's helping me build my foundation. So, and most likely it's gonna be my Facebook and my YouTube. That's about it. So, I I'm doing that and doing that and doing that and doing that, and I'm sitting here saying to myself, okay, so now I have a date. I'm waiting for something coming in the mail, but knowing that I have a little safety net at my disposal makes me feel so much relief that while I am on social media grinding and all that stuff, a lot of that now comes into filling time in my day, in my life, doing something that I like. And that's it. Whether I'm scrolling and reading and laughing, adding to, whatever the case may be. And I feel as a person that doesn't have like a college degree and all this other stuff, I bring a lot to the table. And I find that when people on a computer and they ask, this, and when I can offer a helping hand, I feel like I'm being productive. So whether or not I'm earning from that or not matters nothing to me. It matters that I am able to help. And that's it. I don't have to stand on a line and be at the grocery store and help somebody to the car. Helpful is helpful in any way that you can feel that capacity. So that's what it is. When I go to the store, like I mentioned already, when I go to the store, sometimes I pick up, an extra can and then I leave it in the hallway. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things. And then I see other people be leaving stuff in the hallway and stuff. So it is what it is. But what I'm gonna start doing when I start picking up, like say, an extra dozen of eggs, I'm not just going to stay on this floor and put down the extra eggs. I'm going to go down to the next floor. I probably move down to the 3 floors and let it be that. But I am going to make a difference in my community any way I can. And nobody has to know that it's me leaving a dozen of eggs. All someone needs to know is there are some eggs, somebody needs it, somebody takes it. I just hope that kindness starts to travel around to where other people feel that they can help people. I saw someone on the street a couple days ago. I was coming out of a store and there was this, okay, I don't know what you would call the person. I don't know what your neighbor would call the person. I'm just going to say, for society's take, because of how people see people on the street, let's just say a bum. Let's just say a bum. Okay, so I saw someone sitting down, eating whatever. I don't know what they were doing. They were looking distressed. They were clearly homeless, so it was what it was. I walked past, I said good morning, and the person said good morning. And I was thankful that the person didn't ask me for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm a giver. And I don't want you to ask me for anything because, first of all, I'm going to the store. You don't know what I have. So don't ask me for nothing. Absolutely. Stop normalizing begging. I don't like begging. So I was in a store, went to do my shopping or whatever, and I left myself a little bit of change. I came out of the store and I walked past the female and I said, here you go. Have a nice day. And I handed her $2. And she was like, thank you, and I said nothing else. I kept moving. The person that was behind me, I turned around and looked, and I saw this look on the person's face. But at that moment, I felt blessed. Why? Because the person didn't ask me for nothing. You didn't see me walking in the store and just assume I had extra money. So don't do that. So I came out of the store with the kindness of myself and handed the person $2. Now, that may not do a whole lot for a whole lot of people, but I guarantee you a bottle of water and a snack out of that store can do a whole lot for her. Why do I know that? Because when I was homeless, it helped me. It helped me because a local crackhead who had no teeth in her mouth, and I hope and pray one day she see this video so she could say, Shay, that was me. She came to me with a crackhead juice. Y'all know what the crackhead juices are. And a hot dog, and I needed that hot dog in desperation, and I ate it and I felt like wow. And I didn't ask for it. I wasn't gonna ask for it, but boys and girls, I had lost so much weight that you wouldn't even know it was me. You talking about this old built-in thing behind me? It was gone. It was gone. I looked a hot mess. I was horrified, but it was a struggle and I had to get through it. That's why I'm not letting nobody play no games with me. I'm not letting nobody, no, I don't want to fall in love and no man talking about, oh, you want us to live together. No, baby, you can put a ring on it and everything. We are going to have our own address and we're going to share the key, honey. Yep, I stay with you 2 nights. You stay with me 2 nights. We will never clock in the same address for 30 days. Hell no. You won't marry me? And unless we built something of equal, and I can walk away and still not go homeless. That's the only thing. I'm not gonna be one of those people that get married and can't leave when I go through distress or I feel no longer happy or in love because I have nowhere else to live. No, baby, I will never set myself up like that. I have seen and read too many stories, and the one thing that I personally know that no one can tell me different is when you come home to someone that's in that house that you wish was not in that house, boys and girls, I don't even want to borrow that feeling. Absolutely. I'm not trying to borrow that feeling. And that's why it is it is imperative that mothers teach their sons everything that they need to do. There is nothing that that man should need outside of laying down with his wife producing a child. He should be able to do everything: pick up his socks, wash dishes, fix that plant, repot it, make coffee, organize the cabinets. Even if he doesn't do it, he needs to know how. That's it. You know how many people stay together and the wife does everything, and then when this wife passes away or she moves out, this man's house looks like he never had any. No, we can't do this to our sons. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We have required. No, we can't do this. Absolutely not. And you go in this. Not only do you smell a scent when you go in, everything's on the floor, everything is disheveled, the kitchen counter, the dishes, and everything. And I'm gonna tell you another thing, boys and girls. I am not from that realm of whatever that you could tell me that depression hits you like that. I suffer with depression for years. You understand me? There is one thing that I know without a shadow of a doubt is that anybody who knows themselves know that you have to be a certain type of person to sleep in filth. And that has nothing to do with depression, because one thing that I can tell you about depression that I know from a lot of people who suffer from depression, they need to see space, which means you need a little bit of space there, you need a little bit of space there, which means they're not going to live in squalor. No, absolutely not. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Yesterday, this woman put up a picture and she said, what else can do in here because I'm so stressed out. I just want to clean up because it makes me feel better. And I said to her, I said, stand back and look at your floor. Just stand back and look at your floor. If you can't see what I can see, then I can't help you. And then someone else said, what is it? Her floor is clean. That'll tell you right there that the person is at least some type of well up there, depression or no depression. Now, walk into someone's house that has everything all over the floor. They just don't care. They don't want to clean. They don't love their home. But you can come home. That's your place to live in. You pay your rent, you pay your mortgage, whatever the case may be. But when you love where you live, oh my goodness, you don't need a reason to wash your sink out. You want to wash your sink out because you feel good washing your sink out. You just want your dishes washed because you want to clean your toilet. This morning, Beverly said, I clean my toilet today or whatever. Yeah, you clean your toilet. You feel good about yourself when you love your home and you enjoy your home. This space that's giving you shelter and safety and security, and you love it. You're not going to live like that. Absolutely not. You don't love yourself. You don't care about yourself. I don't care. You wake up in the morning time. You don't care. Me, I woke up this morning. Guess what I said to I don't feel like taking no shower. That was the first thing I said. First thing I said. Now, anybody know me? The first thing I want on my body is water. Right here. I want water flowing down me, washing up, scrubbing up, getting all these cavities clean. But I woke up, I'm not playing that game. Nah, sir, I'm not playing that game. Went right in there, started doing a few things, and I wasn't in the shower at 6 like I wanted to be in the shower, but I knew I was getting in there. So I ended up getting in the shower. I use my shower as therapy, and my shower is what builds my day. because when I get in the shower, I start praying in the shower. I start making sure I speak to myself in the shower. I pray for the man and over the man that I absolutely love in the world, and always say, even if I never see him again, just wish him well. I don't care what it is, but my praying when that water's over me. If you ever get to the point where your health refuses, when I say health, I don't mean mental health, because a lot of that stuff, everybody's reasoning and whatever it is, and I'm not gonna go against you or whatever the case may be. I've been there. But whenever you are health stricken, like in a wheelchair, you don't have access to get in and out on your own. That's a total different story. And wanting to get in is a total different feeling. I've been there. There was times I couldn't walk, I couldn't shower. I had to crawl to the sink. I soaked my floor, but I did get that water on his ass. So, and I felt good, but I still didn't feel clean. My friend works in a hospital, so she taught me how, over the phone, how to use the chair in the bathroom. I don't feel clean using the chair in the bathroom because I need to get my cookies and stuff clean. I'm just about that life. So I don't feel. Yes, I still have my chair. You never know when you need it, but I don't feel clean in it. Chair. I got a big back. I need to get it there and clean up and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I take my shower as a blessing, and I count it as one of my gratitudes. So I'm in the shower. So it is what it is. But I remember a time that the mental health provider had me on so much medicine, I couldn't shower. And I cried and cried and cried and cried. That man ended up getting fired. I went to the top and let him know that man got me on too much medicine. I couldn't take a shower. I was going to faint in the tub. I was going to fall out. I was discombobulated. And I made it clear I want to get in the shower. I said, I smell myself, and I felt horrified. So it is what it is. We just have to do what we have to do. But when I say, some of you are making me absolutely proud, because some of you are absolutely listening, watching, and understanding who I am, and the little bit of changes that other people are making in their lives based on what they see from me. That just makes me feel love. You want to know why? Because some of you have changed me by me watching some of the things you do on your videos. You understand? Like Coral, when she gives me little advices to try this, I always do the best I can to try it. You know what I'm saying? Especially like some of the little gravy things. I don't remember stuff like that. And what's bothering me now is that my memory is really bothering me to the point where I know I said something and then I repeat myself. So now I say to people, I know I said this. I probably said, no, it's okay. And someone had to tell me, I don't care how many times you repeat something. I just love hearing your voice. So you could talk to me all day. So I'm like, all right, well, I got to go now. I got to go now. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for YouTube, for one thing. I'm learning in the analytics. Now, I'm not a follower, first of all. So we already have to nip that in the bud. I'm not a follower. So I notice when I'm doing Facebook and reading and watching videos, I notice that other people are watching what other people are doing. They're taking their keywords, they're taking their tags, the CEO, they're doing it all. And I'm watching and I'm like, then you look into their likes, their thumbs up and all the other stuff, and they got it almost the same, thousands. But I recently saw that someone had a viral video, and they made a massive amount of money, boys and girls. And it turned around, that money was gone. But the next video wasn't viral. That person ended up on the street. They had no more money. They ended up sleeping in their car and all of this. And I always say, I don't want a viral video. I got too much to lose from a viral video. They're going to cut me off my rent. They're going to cut me off my everything. Now, let me explain something to you. I'm not the person that's going to say I don't want to make enough to where I don't lose my everything. I want enough to make as much cash as I can, because cash is king, baby. But I don't want to lose it where I don't have enough to cover up the next, And I'm damn sure not going to be the one to get that gravy and end up at the mall. There's nothing in that mall that I want. My bill collectors, my rent, my landlord, everybody's getting hit off. I remember one time when I came up with some money, I paid my light bill for 8 months. Boom! And I pinched off those lights, them lights the best I could. Boom! I don't play with my gravy. No, I don't. But now I have to do something else. There is a Christmas event. Um, I saw a flyer somewhere. There's a Christmas event. Now, I don't know if anybody's going to have tables or whatever in those Christmas events, and I'm not buying anything. I can promise you that because I don't want anything new in here. Unless it's something that I can grind with, I don't want it. But I think the date is the December 27th, December 22nd, I think the date is. And I'm hoping to grind in here to get something that I can pass a blessing off to someone else. I'm going to put possibly $5 or $6 in an envelope, put a greeting card in it, and if there are people selling, I'm just going to hand them the envelope and just say, can you put that in your purse for later? And that's it. That is my contribution to their table. But I don't want what's on the table because I don't have anyone to give it to. I'm not a person who collects little things anymore. I'm not that person. So I don't want to walk past someone's table and say, I don't want to, because I don't want it or whatever the case may be. I may want to gift it to someone. So, but what I would like to gift them is $5 or $6. It would help towards their supplies. It is a donation, and that is it. And that's what I'm going to do. That's Jesus. Oh! Who is it? Hello.
Hello, Miss Sharon.
Yes, this is she. I apologize. I forgot y'all were on this video, but I'm going to pause now. I'm a healthcare provider. For a minute there, I forgot that I paused this video, and I thought it was still recording me while I was having a conversation. But I don't know how many times I have to say I'm not taking any pain medicine, no prescription meds for my pain. I know I have fibromyalgia. I know I have neuropathy and all that other stuff. I don't want any prescription pain medicine. I don't want Tylenol. I don't want any of it. So she said, well, what are you going to take? Ashwagandha, sea moss, black seed oil, or herbals. I'm not taking any of that stuff. Absolutely not. Whatever I have to deal with, I have to deal with. I told a lady already, I already have a certain amount of pain. I have already become accustomed to, and I'm trying to live my life with it. But to be addicted to something that can push me to wanting something greater and be addicted to something, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And it bothers me that I have to keep saying the same thing over and over. And I'm thankful that my primary care doctor completely understands what I mean. Completely. There are people that will not admit that they're addicted to, but that stuff can start here. You take it and make you feel good, whatever the case may be. Next thing you know, you want this. No, I don't want it. I don't want it. My father was a drug addict, a drunk, all that shit. He died one of those people. You think I'm gonna take that stuff? No, I already know what was down my list. No, I'm not taking that stuff. Anyway, I want to say thank you everybody for watching my video. Thank you for watching for the full 40 minutes, whatever the case may be. But I'm going to tell you something that I learned in the process of my videos, why I was saying, which I completely got distracted. I've learned that even though they push for the shorts, that's not what's going to get you your gravy on YouTube. You need long form videos, and a lot of people don't realize that. You need long form videos because that's where you're going to keep your gravy. That's what's going to keep you earning. And when I see that, and then they send us these little updates, and they want you to do this, and they want you to look at what other people are doing, and this is a recommendation. I don't look at any of that. It is what I'm going to bring to the table, and that's it. That's it. Now, one thing I do like that I see a lot of people doing is it took me, okay, I'm just going to use a little, I don't know how to do it. I would have to turn my TV on to get it right. But it took me 5 years to learn what I'm going to tell you in 1 minute. And then the video is like 25 minutes long. I like that hook off. Because it is A+. But I'm not doing that. Because if I do that and I don't actually have what they actually need, it's a waste of time for me, and I don't want to do what I used to do and see I got 3 or 4 subscribers, then come back and 4 of them have left. There was a time that I had 7 subscribers in one day, and when I came back, 4 were gone. And I said, what did I do? What did I say? And I felt horrible. But then I learned that YouTube was unsubscribing people. And then people would say, did you move? Because I can't find you. And so I learned what it is. But a couple of days ago, I ended up with, I think, 6 subscribers and 2 left. And it didn't bother me one bit. It didn't bother me one bit. Now, I'm going to tell you what is a blessing on YouTube, whether anyone else will ever admit it or not. You can have, say, 426 subscribers, because that's exactly what I have. But if you don't have 426 views and or 426 comments, you don't have 426 subscribers. You just have people that hooked up to your line, and that's it. And I'm thankful for the 426 that I have, but I am blessed for the 24 that's watching. That's watching, because there is something that they're going to give me that I actually need. So we have to look at everything, and we have to analyze these things and see. Now, I did want to do a Facebook Live and do my cooking and stuff like that, but I don't know how to cut off the Facebook Live. So I did, not Facebook Live, YouTube Live. I don't know how to cut it off. I do this and I'm doing this and I'm still recording and I can't find it. So I said, you know what, I'm not going to do that. But I also know, look at in the analytics, to make monetization for Facebook Lives, you need a lot more points, or whatever you want to call it, to get where you need to go. So I'm not working on that. What I'm working on is long form, and that's it. So it is what it is. I absolutely will promise you, I never wanted to be on YouTube cooking to make my videos. Never. That was never, ever my intention. I don't cook those big formative meals. I don't have dinners. I don't have none of that. Half the time, you don't even see me put 3 portions or whatever on my stove. So it is what it is. But I am thankful that I do have a following for the frugal meals that I am producing, and that some of you have made them on your stove. I don't know who it was a couple of days ago and called me and said, girl, I'm making what I saw you put on your stove today, and I'm happy, for that. But it is what it is. Thank you so much for watching my video. Remember, birthday, and I will be hitting and this is going in the mail tonight, but I would have to say tomorrow. Today is Thursday. I'm not going to my mailbox until after 12:30. I want to come from the 12 all the way down to 1 without all that stopping in between. It gets me nervous, especially there's a floor. There's a floor in my building, and this one household eats a lot of curry. And not West Indian curry where I can eat that, smell that, and all the other stuff. There's a different type of curry. Now, there is nothing, I'm not saying anything negative about the fact that the person eats curry. Somebody make, it doesn't matter. But that version of curry sickens my stomach. And every time the elevator stop on a certain floor, it's like, ugh. So you already know if it's on the elevator, it's in the house, and it's already on the floor. So I don't want to ride from that floor all the way down with nauseousness in my stomach. I don't want it. So it is what it is. Anyway, thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Love you.